Hi, my name is Annie, and welcome to the Walking Word, where we go through the Bible in a year as part of discipling. In order to finish the Bible in a year, you need to read a minimum of 5 chapters a day. We're now reading Exodus chapter 30, the altar of incense. For burning incense, uh-huh, for burning incense, you shall make an altar of acacia wood with a square surface, a cubit long, a cubit wide, and 2 cubits high, and horns that spring directly from it. Its great its grate on top, its walls on all the four sides, and its horns shall be a plate with pure gold. Put a solid molding around it. Underneath the molding you shall put gold rings, two on one side and two on the opposite side, as holders of the poles used to carrying it. Make the poles too of acacia wood and plate with them. This altar you are to place in front of the veil that hangs before the ark of the commandments, where I will meet you. Okay. On it Aaron shall burn fragrant incense morning after morning when he prepares the lamps. Remember, the lamps had to be lit perpetually of olive oil, and again in the evening twilight when he lights the lamps, he shall burn incense. Throughout your generation, this shall be established incense offering to the Lord. And as we go along, you can see the number of um, offerings. We have the ordination offering, we have the sin offering, we have the peace offering. Here we're going through the incense offering, we've seen the wave offering. So these are the things, the sacrifices that the Lord is asking for. On this altar, you shall not offer up any profane incense, or any holocaust or cereal offering, nor shall you pour out libation upon it. Once a year, Aaron shall perform the atonement rite on its horns. Throughout the generations, this atonement is to be made once a year with the blood of the atoning sin offering. This altar is most sacred to the law. So this is the altar of sin. And later on, this will come full circle when we finally understand why Christ had to be the atoning sacrifice for sin presented to the holies of holies for humankind. Census and tax. The Lord said to Moses, when you take a census of the Israelites who are to be registered, each one as he is enrolled shall give the Lord a forfeit of his life, so that no plague may come upon them for being registered. Everyone who enters the registered group must pay a half a shekel according to the standard of the sanctuary shekel, 20 gerahs to the shekel. This payment of the half shekel is a contribution to the Lord. Everyone of 20 years or more who enters the registered group must give this contribution to the Lord. The rich need not give more, nor shall the poor give less than a half a shekel in this contribution to the Lord to pay the forfeit for their lives. When you receive this forfeit money from the Israelites, you shall donate it to the service of the meeting tent, that there may be the Israelites' reminder before the Lord of the forfeit paid for their lives. And this is just God giving us instructions that we need to build the church, we need to maintain the church, both the physical location where people meet, but generally, His believers, we must take care of them. The Lord said to Moses, for ablutions, you shall make a bronze laver with a bronze base. Make it between the meeting tent and the altar and put water in it. Aaron and his sons shall use it for washing their hands and feet. When they are about to enter the tent of meeting, they must wash their water lest they die. They must wash with water lest they die. So you must enter the sanctuary, the tent of meeting, having washed yourself. Likewise, when they approach the altar in their ministry to offer an oblation to the Lord, they must wash their hands and feet lest they die. This shall be a perpetual ordinance for him and his descendants throughout their generations. That's why you'll notice sometimes in church, many of the priests and pastors, before bringing believers into partaking of the Holy Communion, they would wash their hands as a sign of their priesthood and that they're about to offer sacrifice to God. The anointing of oil. The Lord said to Moses, take the finest spices, 500 shekels of free flowing myrrh, half that amount, that is 250 shekels of fragrant cinnamon, 250 shekels of fragrant cane, 500 shekels of cassia, all according to the standard of the sanctuary's shekel, together with a hin of olive oil, and blend them into sacred anointing oil, perfumed ointment expertly prepared. Not just prepared, expertly prepared. With this sacred anointing oil, you shall anoint the meeting tent and the ark of the commandments, the table and all its appurtenances. So I guess with all its appliances, with all its paraphernalia. The lampstand and its appurtenances, the altar of incense and the altar of the Holocaust with all its appurtenances, and the laver with its base. When you have consecrated them, they shall be most sacred. Whatever touches them shall be sacred. Aaron and his sons you shall also anoint and consecrate as my priests. To the Israelites you shall say, a sacred anointing oil, this shall belong to me throughout your generations. It may not be used in any ordinary anointing of the body, nor may it make any other oil of like mixture. So this anointing oil, and be very careful because some people actually sell this oil. Um, and sell it. But God says, do not make any other oil of like mixture. So be very careful where you get your anointing oil from. Many of these things have been bound with powers of demonic activity. But God is very particular about his anointing oil. And no one should be selling you oil anyway. It is sacred and shall be treated as sacred by you. Whoever prepares a perfume like this, or whoever puts any of this on a layman, shall be cut off from his kinsmen. If you do it, you'll be cut off. The incense. The Lord told Moses, take the aromatic substances, storax and onycha, and galbanum. These are the pure frankincense in equal parts. These and pure frankincense in equal parts, and blend them into the incense. This fragrant powder, expertly prepared, is to be salted and so kept pure and sacred. Remember, salt is also a sign of purity and preservation. Grind some of it into fine dust, and thus this before the commandments in the meeting tent, where I will meet you. This incense shall be treated as most sacred by you. You shall not make incense of a like mixture for yourselves. You must treat it as sacred to the Lord. Whoever makes an incense like this for his own enjoyment of his fragrance shall be cut off from his kinsmen. Again, if you make this mixture of this oil, you'll be cut off. We continue tomorrow in the next chapter.